because you'll have the recording.
Okay.
Okay, so welcome. This is the last of the workshops, and I'm going to be recording this workshop so that other teachers who haven't been able to participate in the workshops can get an idea of what's going to be happening. So I have Eucharia here joining me in this workshop. We may have one or two more joining us a little bit later, but I doubt it. So in this workshop, I'm going to be showing you firstly what students see as they access the site, and then after we do that, I'll show you on a different browser what the teachers see and show you a bit of information there. Okay, so also just a quick bit of background information. The International Virtual Exchange project started in very small scale, 2004, 2005, between myself and a teacher in Colombia, and thereafter it slowly got a little bit bigger and bigger until 2015, where I was fortunate enough to be able to go down to Colombia and meet Juan Pablo, and he introduced me also to Ruben and the Sena team there, and they said they wanted to expand the Virtual Exchange project in Colombia. I was happy to do that because a lot of people in Japan were also keen to join. I applied for and received a Japanese government Kaken grant that helped me purchase a server and get things going in a large scale. We've received another Kaken grant this month, and we anticipate that it will continue to grow into the future. So that's just a little bit of background about how we can offer this exchange for free and why it is happening. And it's also an invitation for you to go out and introduce it to your colleagues and hopefully encourage even more people to join the project. So, with that background finished, let's approach it from the student's perspective. So, the students will come to this site, and this is the page they will see. Now, they can access this from any internet-enabled device, from anywhere, at any time. Okay, it works very well in computer browsers. It also works very well in smartphone browsers. It's working quite well in the Moodle app, but it's not perfect just yet in the Moodle app. We're working on that. Adam Jenkins has been instrumental in making this page a lot more user-friendly, and Tom Rawson has also been a wonderful assistance working to make the server very strong and also very secure. So the students can access this, as I said, from anywhere, anytime. They come to the page, they click on, for this particular example, the 2019 Spring Starters course. I'm going to be using Reino Gakusei as my example student. Reino is example, Gakusei is student in Japanese. You will, of course, give your students the username and password that you sent me via the CSV files that you all sent me. Now, they'll enter that information, they'll click on login. The first page they will see is change your password page. So they'll have to change their password. Then they will also see a page that basically just tells them all the material in this site is owned by the people who posted it. So please do not use any of the material in this site anywhere else without the express permission of the person who created it. And then they'll come in and they'll see this page. Now, for the students, there are two places that they will interact. The class to classes interaction is the main area where we want them to interact. The students in your class will be paired with students in a class from Colombia and perhaps one other country as well. We will have students participating from Chile, from Brazil, from Colombia, from Ecuador, from Thailand, from Japan, of course, from Korea, and I think I'm forgetting a couple of other countries, but yeah, there's a lot of students at this present stage. There are about 3,200, maybe 3,300 students in this coming exchange. The main exchange of information between your class and your partner class will happen here. Only the students in your class and your partner class will be able to see the information here. This is what we want the students to really focus on because it's a focused exchange. Down here we have the open forum, and all 3,200, 3,300 students can see anything that's posted there. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm just going to double check. Yep, it's moving. Great. So there is a very big difference between this exchange, this forum and this forum, and I'll just show you quickly. So the open forum, if students click on that, here, yeah, as it's stated, it's an open forum. Everyone can add a new discussion topic. Okay, I'm just going to quickly add a test topic here and a test topic in there. I'm going to post that to the open forum. Now, students can see this is the one that they're following. So say, for example, another student comes along and sees this and says, wow, that's a really interesting topic. I want to get involved in that. They click it, they click reply, and then they might answer some of the questions. Wow, this is a great test. Or something along those lines. And then they can continue on their merry way. Now, here you can see that they've been followed. Okay. Now, in the previous exchange, I'll show you that a bit later, we had a lot of very, very fascinating discussions happening here. Students asking about some quite interesting topics, such as religion, their favorite programs that they watched as kids, best movies they've ever seen, lots of different stuff. So anything and everything within reason can be discussed in this open forum. Obviously, we want students to be polite and engage in civil discussion. So perhaps keep a bit of an eye on that. But yeah, this is the open forum. Students can create new discussions and reply to discussions that have been created by other students. The main focus, though, will be the class-to-classes interaction.
Okay, Eric,
Yep.
would it be okay if my fourth years joined in? Because I have one student who's very, very keen on like intercultural communication. His mom is from the Philippines.
Yep, send me the information and I'll add him. to your group.
Okay. Thank you.
Not a problem. Okay. So this class-to-classes interaction, this is where the main interaction happens. But what's very different here is that students can not create discussions. Okay?
Right. Okay.
What I want you, the teacher, to do is create subgroups in your class. Okay, so for example, me on my first class after
you want me to ask the students, okay, like for 30 minutes now?
Sorry, what's that?
Sorry, you want me to tell the students, okay, next 30 minutes, go write your introductions?
No, what I will do is I will go into the classroom and I'll say, okay, I have 24 students in one class, and I will say, okay, you 24 students, please form 5 groups. Okay, so they'll quickly form 5 groups. Then I will walk around the class and I will say, okay, this group here, you are going to be group number 1. Okay, this group over here, you're going to be group number 2, you're going to be group number 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so group number 1, you come over here and you click on group 1, introductions. Okay, now click on reply and post your introduction here.
My students are used to like me bullying them into, because I'm from a drama background, 10 lines or more. So
Okay.
they're going to be well able to handle this.
Okay. Now, if, for example, when your students do access this, maybe the students from Colombia have already replied. If
That's the bit that I'm hoping will get them engaged.
yeah,
That's, oh, there's someone out there.
yeah. Well, if the students come to this forum and they see that, oh, look, Juan has already posted and Marcel has already posted and Ruben's already posted, then what I would like them to do is look at that post and go down and then click the reply here.
Sure.
And reply to that
I've done
person.
something similar before with blogging.
Yep.
And usually when I ask students to get into groups of 4,
Yep.
one person has done a really good job, and it shames the other 3 people into doing a really good job the next time. So the fact that there are people out there looking at it on the internet, I think that's really going to engage the students.
Yeah, for sure. So I hope that your students and all the students participating in the exchange really get involved in this, because that's what makes the exchange so powerful and so interesting. Now I'll just run through very quickly what students can do via this. Obviously they can type text, so they can change the topic here if they want. They can jump in here and say, hi, I'm Leno Gaxe. Nice to meet you. I'm from Canada in Australia. This is a picture of my home town. And then what we do is we can go to this icon here, click it,
Right.
click on Browse Repositories. We can upload a photo from our computer or our phone. We can take a photo from our phone. using this as well. Or we can find media here in Wikimedia. I'm going to use that as an example today. Let's find a picture in Wikimedia of my hometown. There it is. I'm going to select that file. One thing I will ask you to ask your students to do is, because I've already written the description now, I'm going to say description not necessary, then ask your students to be aware of the size of their pictures if they're putting pictures in there. Please put this as 500 maximum on the left. Because we've got auto size here, you don't have to worry about that. It's automatically sized. But on the left, 500 maximum. And then we click Save Image. Bang, it goes straight in there.
Will you be sending this in writing?
There's not going to be anything in writing, but on the course page here, on the very front page, there are video tutorials that students can access, and it shows you how to create self-created videos using a computer, how to do it with an iPhone or iPad, and how to do it on an Android device.
Okay,
so students can access those at any time. Let's just go back here though. So I've added a picture. I'm now going to show you how to add audio, which you can do by clicking the microphone icon. What will happen is a little pop-up will come up and it will say, do you allow this device to record using your mic? And you have to say yes, and then you click on Start Recording. So now it's recording. Hi there, I'm Neno Vaxe. Nice to meet you. Click Stop Recording, Attach Recording. Bang, it's straight in there.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah, so you can do straight recordings. You can also do actual video. Okay, again, you'll have to allow the site to access your camera and mic. Once that's done, then you click on Start Recording. Video pops up. Hello there. Here we go again. This is just an example. We click on Stop Recording. Then we attach recording. And bingo. The video is now in there. Okay. Now, that might not seem really that, I mean, the technology is cool, but doing a video of yourself isn't really that interesting. Well, maybe it's interesting for you, actually. It probably is when you're doing kickboxing and stuff like that, but for me,
I haven't started any of that yet.
Boring on me, no, that's not very exciting. But what I hope students will do is use their smartphones, and say they're just walking around town and they see something interesting, they could take a quick video and describe what they're seeing in English, take a quick video, post it up there. Say they're walking around town, they see a festival. Oh, bang, this is a festival downtown. Hey, what do you think?
Or even just their normal everyday lives.
Exactly.
That's going to be kind of cool for Colombian students to see.
Exactly. Yeah. You think your breakfast is not very exciting. Take a quick video. This is natto. This is miso soup. This is rice. This is what most Japanese people eat for breakfast. Upload that. Wow. Very interesting.
I'm late for school again.
Yeah. All of that type of stuff can go in here. Now,
and here's what you can do when you want to escape. You take a a ticket and saying you were late.
That's right, that's right. One thing to be aware of, though, is that there is a 50 megabyte upload limit per forum post. So what does that mean? On an iPhone, where you have changed your default video to the lowest resolution, even at the lowest resolution, you can only create a 1-minute video on an iPhone. I think it's a little bit more on Android devices, depending on how you set the defaults. But understand that there are limitations to this. So
well, that's actually good. It's putting constraints.
Yeah, I think so too. You don't want to be videoing for hours and hours and hours. So yeah, just short little videos, brilliant, I think. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you can create videos, create your own videos. Obviously, YouTube is a wonderful source of excellent material. Say you wanted to add a YouTube video. You might say, oh, I love music. Here's one of my favorite bands.
So just put the US
okay, so basically what we do here, say we go to our YouTube site, grab a video that we want to share. We click on the share button, copy that, go back to our course page here.
Okay.
And what you should ideally do is click this button, paste that in there, and insert media. Okay. So, encourage your students to ask questions. Yeah. How about you? What music do you like? Where are you from? Looking forward to communicating with you, etc. And then once we go down, post to the forum.
Bang, it's all there.
We've got everything there.
So the introductions is person to person, and the open forum is for everyone.
That's correct. Well, I suppose person to person is okay, but it's actually 4 people to 4 people, or maybe 4 people to 8 people, depending on how many countries.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Remembering that we want you, the teacher, to create those subgroups in your class.
Okay. No, my students are very well trained. They're obedient, if nothing else.
Okay. So that's from the student perspective. We might just stop there and just double check if you've got any further questions from the student perspective.
I think I'm okay.
Yep.
So, let me double check with you. Students, like it's 4 to 4, so they can see each other's like a blog, an enclosed blog.
Yeah, well, it's the terminology we're using for this particular one is forum. So forum posts and forum replies.
Sorry, I'm just out of date.
That's all right.
So 4 of my students will be talking to 4 of the students in Colombia.
In the group 1 or group 2 or group 3, yes.
Okay. So it's a collaborative environment.
That's correct.
Okay. I've run something similar in the past, but not to this extent. So I'm just like really, really thrilled to be part of this.
Excellent.
And my students also, I have a wonderful batch of second years. I have 9 students in there, and then the third years are a bit of a disaster.
Well, we won't. You can tell me about those later. But let's.
But I'm hoping this will kind of kickstart. They're kind of okay. I wanted to try this.
Okay. Well, so that you get a bit more of an idea, let's also go to the teacher perspective. I'll change the browser now, and teachers also same address. Go to the same address, same place they click, and they log in with their teacher account. Mm-hmm. When they do, this is what they see. Now they're going to see a little bit more, stuff that is hidden from students at the present moment, but may be available to them at a later date, etc. The students actually can see this menu as well, but via this button here you open and close it. And this button is important for teachers because it houses this very, very important forum report. Okay. So when you click on the forum report, this is what you see. Now, you'll want to follow your students and find out what they're doing. What you do here, say for example, you want to see if they're participating in the class-to-classes interaction, you click that. Then you click your group. Okay, and you choose the country. Okay, and then you click Show Report. Now, obviously, no students are in here at the moment, so it's not really going to show anything. Okay, it's going to show me. God, I've been very lazy, haven't I? Nothing. But what will happen here is if we have a full list of students, it will show how many times they've replied. Remembering that they won't be able to post, so this will be 0 in the class-to-classes interaction. But the number of times they've replied will show here. The number of words they have used in the forum will show here. The number of times they've looked at the forum will show here.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
A little bit stalkery, but interesting.
Well, obviously, if you're going to be using this to grade your students, you do have to give them an idea of how you're going to be grading them. So, I always look at this type of thing and say, well, here you go. You haven't made any replies. What do you expect? Of course you got 0. or wow, look at you. You've done 20 replies here. You've used 2,000 words. You've looked at this 100 times. Unbelievable. Excellent work, This is brilliant. Remembering that only the teachers can see this. Yeah.
Okay.
Over here on the far right is a little button, and this is a link to the complete report. Now, because I'm recording this, I'm not going to show you a live version. Previously, in some of the earlier workshops, I showed you some examples from the previous exchange. And when you click that, it gives you a list of everything that you've done. Okay?
Oh.
So, everything that student's done. So, obviously, to keep an eye on your students, you need a place that is easy to find out exactly what your students are doing. This forum report is that place. Yeah?
Wow.
Okay. So, this is probably where you'll spend a lot of time as a teacher, just seeing what your students are doing.
And I'm projecting it as well, going, sorry, you're not performing.
Yeah, well, you definitely should keep an eye on students that are not replying, and give them a little bit of moral support, perhaps, and tell them it's important that.
I work in computer sciences. They know I'm a stalker.
Okay. So, forum report, very, very important.
And there's one other thing. Speaking of which, my students are not English majors. They're choosing to do English through drama and computer. So, they're not brilliant at English. They're the normal false beginner level. Sorry, I have a cold, so that's why I sound dreadful. But is that okay? Will that be okay with the Colombian students? They're not English majors?
My students are not English majors. The vast majority of students in this exchange are not English majors.
Oh, cool. Because my students immediately went, we're studying, we're just doing this for fun. I'm like, oh, okay. And they were like, if these guys are really, really clever about English, we don't want to do it. And I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, the students, as I said, they're all, I'd say close to 90%, 95% of the students are not English majors. So, it's a place where you can use the English that you are learning. That's the way I like to explain this. Yeah.
Okay, for my students, when they hit third year, they have to go and make a departmental presentation as a group in English.
Cool.
So, they have a really concrete, I want to be in this group, but I'm not sure I should be here. So they're very conflicted.
Yeah, well, a number of teachers get their students to do presentations on what they've learnt via this exchange. So it's and I've seen some of them and they're brilliant. Yeah. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
So these are the questions I've been asked over the last 3 weeks. Are we good enough, basically?
Yeah.
And I'm like, of course you are.
Of course you are. Of course you are. What a couple of other things here that I want to just mention. We are doing research on this, and you can see down here that there are some things that are at the moment hidden from students and restricted, etc., to teachers. One is the teacher forum, which you are welcome to jump into and introduce yourself to other teachers and get some ideas, perhaps. But we will be carrying out 4 surveys. Four surveys. 2 of those surveys, one will be a pre-survey, which will be available next or Monday week. That will be in the first week. In week 4 or 5, there will be a student-generated survey. And I'll just show you that survey from the last exchange here. You really have got a cold, haven't you?
I never get sick, but when I do, I get sick properly. So at least I'm in Thailand and I don't need to do anything.
Okay. Basically, the idea behind this student-generated survey is we want students to start to think, okay, what do you want to know about people in other countries?
Cool.
And so we ask the teachers to ask their students, okay, let's think up some questions that we want to ask all these other students.
Right.
And then the teacher sends those questions back to the group that is organising this. Andy Johnson is the head of that particular one. And then if you want to be a part of that group, you're welcome to join it. then we go in and we say, okay, we've received 200 questions or 100 questions or however many questions. Let's have a look at them. Oh, this question and this question, they're pretty similar. Or these 10 questions are pretty similar. Let's just put them all together so that they're all covering the same thing and make one question out of that. And then we whittle them down to maybe about 30 or 40 questions. And then we put those questions up and ask the teachers, not the students, the teachers, to decide on the top 12 to 15 questions.
That's very cool.
And then we create a questionnaire out of those questions. So this is the survey, the questionnaire that was made in the last exchange. So these are the questions. Obviously, we get a little bit of background information from the students. And then the students ask, so in how many languages can you have an everyday conversation? Okay, how many times have you been abroad is another thing they were interested in. Except your home country's food. Which country or area's food do you often eat or think is really delicious? What do you need the most to be happy? Interesting questions. Who is the most important person in your life? These are all student-generated questions. Yeah.
Wow.
Which do you trust the most? And we've got a most trusted number one. Police, science, religion, yourself. So, when choosing clothes, what do you focus on more?
I thought you would do 1 to 4, because if you do 1 to 5, everyone goes 3.
Yes.
So it forces the Japanese students to make a decision.
This last question is an interesting one. If you could have a superhuman power or ability, what kind of? So they're the questions. Now, what really makes this interesting is that once all the students have answered, then we allow the students to go and look at all the responses. It's a anonymous survey, so it's all good. You can choose by country. Yeah. That
is fabulous, because my students are doing a thing called So Says Japan, which is set up by these guys in Fukuoka about statistics in Japan, and this fits right in with it.
There you go. Well, get into it.
It's gamification of data.
Yeah. Well, see, as you can see, the Colombian students, there are a number of mature age students in there. Yeah.
All right.
So, and then we go down and find out answers to some of the more interesting questions. Yeah, what do you need the most to be happy? Interesting that the Colombian students' family is way and above the most important there. Yeah.
And what do the Japanese kids
Well,
say?
we'll come back to that one soon, but who's the most important person in your life? Mother, 28%, okay. But mother and father and there's lots there. Colombian people, who is the most trusted? Number 1. Least trusted, 3.2, police. Wow. Yeah. Science is not very trusted. Yeah. Religion is more trusted than science. Yourself is the most. So then okay, let's go back and have a look at how it looks from the Japanese side, for example. We scroll down. What do you need most to be happy? Family is not number 1. Friends, number 1.
Friends.
Going down a bit further, who's the most important person in your life? Not mother. Best friend.
Wow, you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family.
So, most trusted, yeah. Least trusted is religion. So this becomes a kind of
an interesting point, a discussion point.
Yeah. So the last discussion topic is what have you learned and reflection on that. So students can look at, say, something like this and say, well, I learned this was interesting, what do you think? Is this really the case? Or da. So they can use this information to form the final discussion as well. So yeah, there's that's another of the surveys. In week 8, we'll have a post intercultural sensitivity scale survey, in addition to a general feedback survey. So a total of 4 surveys that we'll ask you to ask your students to partake in. Every survey is, of course...
Is it 8 weeks long?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. That fits with the program.
Good. Yeah, all the surveys, though, are voluntary, of course. Okay. But the more people that participate, the better the data. What else from the teacher's perspective?
When is the start date?
The start date is dates for each topic is written here. May 6th is the start date.
May 6th.
Yes.
I think I'm not meeting my students till the 7th.
That's all right. I'm not meeting my students until the 7th either. That is fine. May 6th is actually a public holiday, so
well,
that's
it doesn't
in
matter.
Japan.
My university, they're bastards about that.
Okay.
So, okay, until May 18th. So, yeah, I'll be doing that.
That's topic 1, introductions. But
okay.
But they will remain open. So, but what will happen is that on May 19th, I will seed each group's discussion with 5 more. Group 1, food culture. Group 2, food culture. Group 3, food culture. And students can then jump in there and interact.
Okay. So I have 15 students.
Yep.
Like usually 12 turn up because my 3rd years are a disaster. So if I break them into 3 groups of 5,
probably
okay?
Because there's going to be 5 subgroups, I would prefer it if you could break them up into 5 groups of 3.
3, okay. Okay, yeah, that can be done.
Okay.
No worries. And no, because as I say, the 3rd years are a disaster, so they may or may not come in.
Well,
the reality.
I would really encourage you to try and get them going. Because the students in the other countries, of course, are also participating, and many of them it's part of their grade. So
yeah, okay, I'll guilt trip them. It's gonna.
Obviously, there's lots of different situations. Students are students, and there's all of them are individuals. So
actually, my 2nd years are just so freaking brilliant, and my 3rd years are awful.
Remembering this,
like that's why I'm like going, oh Jesus, are you sure, Eric? Like it could be like 5 groups of 2.
Remembering that this is being recorded.
Okay, they're wonderful.
They're wonderful.
The 2nd years, the 3rd years, not so much.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Just one thing about one thing about the subgroups, yeah.
Okay.
If you notice straight off the bat that there's in the introductions forum, your very passive, inactive students are paired with super active, really go out and get them type of Colombian students, and your super active, go out and get them students are paired with rather inactive, passive Colombian students. From the second topic, just contact your partner teacher and say, hey, how about we put our super active, go out and get them students together, in group 1 and put the not so active students in group 2 or something along those lines. I don't know. It's up to you. Obviously, perfect situation. Everyone's super active. Everyone's go out and get them. And that would be the ideal. But if needs be...
Technically, my second years chose to come into my Zemi, basically. And like they are really gung-ho about it.
Excellent, excellent.
So it's the third years I was stuck with.
Okay. Here, what I've been doing here has been done in a copy. Okay. The exact same thing will be put up on this. Will be available and ready to go Sunday evening, because some of the students from Chile and Brazil are wanting to start on Monday. So some groups when they log in the week after will see posts already. Okay. So if, as I said before, if your students log in and they see some posts already, don't reply to the top, reply to the individual.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover today. Is there anything that you would like to ask further?
No, but I'll be doing this on Tuesdays between 1 p.m. and 4:10. Are you in class at that time?
Tuesday 1, I am in class from 2:35 to 4:05 and from 4:15 to 5:45.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So if I have difficulties, I'll be contacting you using the forum or using the internet.
You can contact me via Skype, via email, or via the forums. Questions that you think other people might benefit from hearing the answer as well, please use the teacher forum. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm currently doing something, an online course, so it's kind of the same feel to it. So
Right.
I try not to annoy you too much.
No, please. Anytime you've got questions or you think something's not quite right, please get on to me straight away. In the past, we've had people wait, and then at the end of the course they say, but this didn't work. And it's like, we could have fixed it in the very first week if you
That's what I'm teaching my students to do. Like, you're the dummy if you don't put your hand up.
Yeah. So, please don't wait.
So you'll be sending like access codes or something?
No, you have already sent me your student data, right? And all
we need to do is go into the site.
Go into the site and tell your students, okay, your username is exactly that information that you sent me. Your password is exactly that information that you sent me. And
that is the IVEProject.org.
That's correct, yep.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Brilliant. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Even with that terrible cold, you've battled through and been a wonderful host here on this video tutorial.
You've been awesome. Thank you so much, Eric. I really appreciate it. And I'm really, really sorry that I sound like, I don't know, a 100-year-old man.
Hey, I'm halfway there. Stop that.
No, you're not. Okay, so...
You take care.
Okay, cheers. I'm going to have a week here in Thailand and get, like, in Japanese Aikido, reboot.
Okay.
Get better.
Good luck with it. Thank you very much.
thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Okay, all the best. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye bye.